Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua Hashem, Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and the Akim doing the work of Yahweh Hashem, in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind. Yep, time of Jacob's trouble, faith shall flourish. That's a beautiful thing, a beautiful promise that the Lord Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua has made to his servants, the elect. And light is shining brightly, and all these deeds of Esau, his ploys and his schemes to get rid of the nation of Israel from off the face of the earth have been revealed. I can go into the Rex 84 program and then you hear about the issue of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, the whole agenda for to get rid of Jake, the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All these doctrines of falsities, doctrines of falsehoods they want to push on to Jake. So the Lord Yabashim Shai is going to start to punch. We already started a long time ago, so he's just revealing Esau's motives, man. His plans, to destroy the nation of Israel. And this is what you see. So here a lady that's done her research, an Israelite woman, done her research thoroughly on the issue of abortion. And here she is in the United States Capitol, D.C., talking before this so-called Edomite congressman, whatever they want to call themselves. They've already been paid off and bought up by the elites. Just a bunch of empty suits, pretending that they have an opinion of, the way things need to be run, but they do not. It's just a bunch of puppets. So, she tells them what the deal is, because, facts don't lie. You could lie, you could, run your mouth all day, but when push comes to shove, they examine the actions. Does the action match what was pronounced, what was spoken? That's how who's being true and who's been a hypocrite. And that's what Esau's been found out to be, a hypocrite, and that's one thing he has an issue with. He doesn't want to be exposed, but the Messiah is exposing Esau, man, and he's pissed off. And that's why he wants to shut down the internet, man. That's why he wants to shut down people's channel, destroy people, because he's not comfortable with his rulership being challenged with facts, with truth, especially the truth of the Holy Scriptures. So I'll play the video and I'll rant less.
Shows your ignorance or your absolute inability to deal with Congress people the way they should.
You know what? I'll rewind it back to the beginning.
To suggest I'm disingenuous shows your ignorance or your...
Yep, and Esau is disingenuous, man. Very untruthful. The servants, has to check the so-called master, and the master's so-called master's angry that his cart got pulled. And now, well, I don't want to say Eve, but hey, that alliance between Eve and the serpent is falling apart, and the serpent is not happy that, his minion, his so-called beloved minion, can no longer stand by his side anymore. That the party is over, and the big boss, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is coming back to take care of business, and he's pissed off,
Absolute inability to deal with Congress people the way they should.
Yeah, she had a schooling. That's one thing, man, that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua talks about in the scriptures, study to show that self-approved. You got to divide the word, dissect the word the way it needs to be dissected so you could bring out the right version the correct vibration, the righteous vibration of the gospel, so the people could get that sound doctrine. And when you do the job of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai the right way, people will come forward and especially our own people, only our own people, the nation of Israel, you know, that have been chosen to hold on to this gospel, will step forward. They won't have any issues with the scriptures, and that's a beautiful thing.
Ms. Parker, you brought a comparison between slavery and abortion, and as far as I
And that narrative has never changed, because the whole issue of slavery for Esau is about maintaining his power structure, maintaining his economic prowess over the nation of Israel, of him maintaining his birthright, securing generations and generations of wealth for his posterity. And this Edomite don't want to talk about that. Only a few of them, have the galls and the balls to say it. And but, you know, when they confronted with that topic, all of a sudden they want to change the whole scenario. They want to talk about something else. So the Lord is not going to allow these Edomites or heathens, whatever they want to call themselves, those red Hebrew Edomites, to dance around the issue anymore, man. They're going to have to face the music. Just like we face the music every day, we have to deal with it. So this red Hebrew, even Edomites will have to deal it. So there is no shame in holding on to the truth. But these Edomites find it so, you know, reprehensible, so unappealing and uncomfortable to hold on to the truth. That's why their lives is full of drugs and hypocrisy.
recall, that's the first of that type of testimony that I have seen before this committee or any committee. Is that an original thought on your part? Have you had others that index the same comparison?
Original thoughts. So basically saying, you're not intelligent enough to look at the facts on the table, to look at the maps. When you go on the internet or do a search in your search engine, whether it's through Google, whether it's through Yahoo, Alta Vista, I mean, all type of web browsers, whatever. You look at all the addresses for Planned Parenthood and look at what neighborhoods they are located in. We're like, well, they just targeting Jake, and she's not. The Israelite woman is not lying, and Esau knows that, So that's why they like to play games that they need affordable health care, you know, accessible health care for women, and all that madness. So that's how Esau is, man. Once you check him, he wants to know exactly how did you find this out.
How did this come about?
Others have looked at it as well. And in fact, when you put the Dred Scott decision next to the Roe v. Wade decision, they read almost verbatim. I'd like to also address something that was brought up earlier.
And I'll tell you, Akim, reading through this so-called legislations that they pass, whether it's at the state level, the federal level, or the local level, you know, it's no joke, man. When you start looking at things for what they are, you're like, God damn, man, it's like, what the hell are these people doing? And then you realize, man, they just laying down the brickwork, the groundwork to hold themselves not accountable, for all the evil they've done to the nation of Israel.
If I may, when it comes to mixing the abortion issue with the challenges that we face in many of our hard-hit communities, I feel it disingenuous that the issues of Medicaid would come up and other opportunities for us to readdress what has happened and broken down in our most distressed zip codes, the way that Planned Parenthood specifically targets these particular zip codes with abortion. Abortion is the leading cause of death in the Black community today. Since Roe v. Wade was legalized,
And you see that? You know, abortion leading cause of death in the nation of Israel. That's that's something you can't deny. Esau wouldn't want to talk about that when he's campaigning. Women's liberation, this women's liberation, that. But then you start putting out these facts. He gets offended. Starts to harass you, trying to intimidate you. But at the end of the day, man, it's just the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that's shaking the cobwebs of your mind. And you're able to stand boldly to proclaim the doctrine of life, the gospel of life, all right? Because the Lord Yahweh Shai is a living power. The Lord is not a power that, letting his people abort, going for abortions all day. That's a curse, man. To be going for abortions, man. And Esau wants to capitalize on that, but hey, that's something that the Lord Yahweh Shai is not going to allow him to get away with. So I get this scripture here, this second Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. And it says, I'll start with verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. And that's the time we're coming into, man. All the evil that Esau has laid up, his empire, his castles of evil deceits, doctrines of death. The Lord Yahweh Shai is crushing them away, man. All this deceit, they're being swept away. The refuge of lies is being swept away. And verse 28 says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shai is moving on several fronts, man. Esau's getting exposed, man. People are getting more into geopolitics. They're seeing all the games that Esau is playing, whether it's in the field of education, healthcare, law enforcement, science and all that stuff, trade and commerce. People are seeing all the madness, man, that Esau has been indulging in, and is getting called out. Go on the comment board on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, the Wall Star Hip Hop, whatever live leak. You see what these people from around the world are talking about, man. They see all the madness of Esau, and it pisses them off. And then the Lord Yahweh Shai is just laughing at Esau, because Esau think he's gonna get away, with blaspheming the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai and putting up a false image, and trying to destroy the Lord's people. The Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right?
20 million humans have been killed inside of the womb of black women.
How do you wind that back?
Was legalized. 20 million humans have been killed inside of the womb of black women.
20 million, that's a whole nation right there. A whole nation, in fact, a whole tribe. That's right, a whole nation. To start 20 million, that's no joke, that's a lot.
And on Halloween, Planned Parenthood tweets out that the black women are safest if they abort their child rather than bring it to term. To the gentleman from Texas who brought up Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, I think that it is important that we put in record that the needs of those that are most vulnerable in society cannot be addressed with abortion. Abortion feeds a narrative that women are victims, that they have no control over their sexual impulses. And as a result of this narrative being forced down into our hardest hit communities, we're seeing now recklessness in sexual activity, and marriage has collapsed.
And that's what Esau has been planning. Once he got Jacob, the plantation, out of the hardcore slavery, now it's time to go after their minds. Start forcing folks to go along with this idea of liberalism, voting for Democrats, voting for Republicans, believing in the so-called American Constitution, believing in the so-called 501c3 charter. So that's exactly how our people fell in a trap again. So It's getting exposed, and Esau doesn't like it, and he's gonna be offended. So I get another precept here. So there's a book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and I read verse 9. It says, "They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he had care for his elect." Alright, so that's the point, Akim, because Esau's pissed off, man. He's getting exposed, He's getting exposed, and he's upset, man. So, Revelation chapter 12, verse 12 will have to happen. It's all part of prophecy. You can't ignore it, you can't deny it. It has to happen, alright? And upload a video and I get a few more precepts.
In the 50s, 70% of black adults were married. Today, that number is 30%. This is causing a lot more social pathologies that have to be addressed through different types of legislation, not the heartbeat bill. The heartbeat bill is to protect the innocent.
Chair, recognize the gentleman from Tennessee, the ranking member.
Thank you. Firstly, we're in filler
You
time.
could see the look in Esau's face, look in his eyes. He's being cut to the heart, man. Because the Lord could get anyone at any time, man. Even the men of the Lord that do the work on the highways and byways, we get cut to the heart day in, day out, man. When you read the scriptures, it just reveals to you that, man, you're not there yet. That you're trying, you're working on it. That I need to work on this. Here are my weak points. This is what I need to do. I need to be more steadfast. I need to check on this brother. I need to be more diligent in the spirit. I need to stop giving up, giving excuses. I need to be, more focused on doing the work. Things like that, man. I need to stop lollygagging, less drinking of wine, less chilling on, trying to talk with girls on the side and all that stuff. It just reveals, your weak spot, the kinks that you need to get out. So that's one thing the scriptures were made for. It was made to help you examine yourself and get rid of all that leaven.
Heartbeat bill. The heartbeat bill is to protect the innocent.
Chair, recognize the gentleman from Tennessee, the ranking member.
Thank you. Firstly, we're in filler time, waiting for somebody to come testify. I would ask.
Oh, you just can't,
It's causing a lot more social pathologies that have to be addressed through different types of legislation, not the heartbeat bill. The heartbeat bill is to protect the innocent.
Chair, recognize the gentleman from Tennessee, the ranking member.
Thank you.
And that's what's, who knows when the man of the Lord might have to go before these people. Who knows what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah has in store for that, man. So it's a good thing to know that Esau's on his way out. Whether his name is Mr. King or Mr. Cohen or whatever, the priest and the king, that's spiritual, man. That's spiritual, Mr. Chairman, the king. And the one to his left, the priest, and they got the minions behind him. It's all,
Firstly, we're in filler time, waiting for somebody to.
yeah, and just get it side by side.
See the ranking member.
Thank you. Firstly.
All right, so that's it right there. Well, spiritual, the king and the priest. All right, so you just gotta understand, man, that Lord Yabashim Shai is not playing games anymore, man. He's serious. In fact, the Lord never played games anyway. All right, so again, another precept here. This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. I just, get this. And, actually, yep. Let's just straight to the point. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. But I'll start from verse 4. Then the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. And that's that simple, man. So it's a beautiful thing, man. To be alive, to do the works of Yahweh Shema Shah, you don't have to be worrying about all these irrelevant doctrines, man. By the grace of Yahweh Shema Shai, we've been delivered, man. From this demonic vibration of abortion. Hey, who knows how long how people will have to be in captivity. The Lord was saying, well, Esau just aborted a prophet. He wasn't being able to be born, so we gotta wait and see if he's gonna be born again. From on a different go around. In the next reincarnation of a woman. And a man. That's how messed up Esau is, man. He thinks that abortion will prevent the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai from fulfilling prophecy. Alright, so get another precept. So it's the book of Exodus chapter 13. I read verses 1 and 2. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kakodash spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. Alright, so that's a breaking of the law right there, man. Esau pushing that abortion doctrine. And then you look for the womb, the word for womb in the Hebrew. The word there is Racham. Racham. Alright, so it says womb. Alright. Womb, woman, slave, woman, two women, the womb matrix. Alright. So it's that simple. And I get another precept. This is gonna be Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 verses 1 to 3. It says, Love righteousness, ye that be the judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart. You know what? Actually, it's verse 7. It's chapter 7. Yeah, it's like I can. Alright, so this Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 1. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. Alright, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air, and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. So, hey, it's simple, man. It's spiritual to know that Lord Yahweh Shema Shai allow us to be born, man. Allow our parents to give birth to us, man. That we may sanctify, that He will sanctify us unto Him to be a royal priesthood, to be a special group of servants unto Him, because it's a beautiful thing, man, to be a man of the Lord. You can't run away. You can't run away from being out there on the highways and byways, man. We're called to do the work of Yahweh Shema Shai. You should be glad, man. Shouldn't have excuses. Shouldn't be putting your head down, to defend a doctrine. You gotta stand up like a man. You gotta be spiritually awakened to do the work. And I get this last precept, this book of Hosea, chapter 1. I just keep it to 10. So it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. Alright, I read it one more time. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. And that's the point, Akim. All these trickery of Esau trying to push abortion into Jake's neighborhood over and over and over, it's going to fail because the Lord Yahweh Shai is not down with that. So that cup of destruction, the cup of trembling that our people have been drinking of, especially our women, going for abortions, the morning after pill. I've seen women, have abortions, man. I've heard personal stories and I'm like, damn, that's messed up. She's squirming and in pain and she's crying like, damn. I'm like, wow. She just killed a baby. I'm just looking at her in the emergency room, man. Come to find out, she took the abortion pill. Now the baby got to come out of her. So it's sad. But hey, it is what it is, man. We're living in the time of Esau's destruction. But it's not gonna go down without a fight. So I'll play this video a little bit more and then that's it.
We're in filler time waiting for somebody to come testify. I would ask that we allow Ms. Jayapal to do filler as well as the chair. And I'd also like to say that I am not disingenuous about anything I say about Medicaid or Medicare or LIHEAP or SNAP programs. And to suggest I'm disingenuous shows your ignorance or your absolute inability to deal with Congress people the way they should. I believe in those issues, and I think.
Well, you don't think nothing, Esau, man. You're going down. And that's the word of the Lord there about Shimei Shah. These Edomites have an issue with being confronted with the words of Yahweh Shimei Shah. Because they know that time is up and it's it, man. That's it for them, man. So I say Kahala Yahal Bashim Yahushua Bashim Nakwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of great wisdom rule well. I can get understand, man. Esau's on his way out. There's nothing he can do about it but yell, scream, and go on a killing spree. So I can stay faithful, stay humble, and keep doing the work in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shalom.